and gentlemen, in our final preparation for landing, please adjust your seat backs to the full upright and lock position. Stow your tray tables. Once again, please double check your seatbelts are securely fastened around you.
Looking shitty as ever. And they got some trash at the end of it here too. Yeah, I've never seen these things broken. They seem like indestructible. Like what you're asking them to do is not that difficult. Oh, got us on a fancy schmancy. Suburban, huh? Way eat all of these pancakes, but they are here. We got the elitist next to me eating some avocado toast.
I'm being that person.
I got some bacon and some pancakes like a true American hero. Look at this place. This place is
super nice.
It's ridiculously
It's really pretty.
All right, guys, look at this.
Almost got through them all, like a champ.
And she housed her avocado toast,
Yes,
like a true
I had some bacon too.
liberal
So I could
elitist. Yes, I
keep
shared
my American card.
some of my bacon with you. So tell everybody what the topics are, since they won't see this until after.
Yeah, so I'm actually excited about the topics. It's stuff that we talk about, you know, on KKF and on Breaking Points all the time. So I'm not sure this angle. I guess you look at the camera there, right? Yeah. Okay. So talking Ukraine, which I think Bill doesn't talk about that much, and myself and the other guest have some significant disagreements on our approach on that. And he's kind of a foreign policy guy, so I think we'll kind of get into it on that one, which I'm looking forward to. We're talking about the Biden presidency, and it is my understanding Bill is going to make some points, as he often does, about how it's like the left's fault that he's failing, which obviously is silly in my opinion, so we'll have a good exchange there as well, spirited debate. And then there's another topic that has to do with some like free speech issues, so it's an interesting mix. It's like these baseball players who refuse to wear the pride patch on their uniform.
Right, I saw that story.
It's, to me, it's weird when a corporation like forces you to like, you will support this, you will be.
That's going to be Bill's take too.
Yeah, so I think we're going to have some agreement there. They're also talking about this coach for the Washington Commanders. They are now.
Oh, the guy who got fined $100,000 for saying like there's a little dust up on January 6th.
About January 6th and the George and comparing them to the George Floyd protests also. And then also the reports that Trump is banning talk of January 6th on Truth Social. So it's kind of like an across the board thing.
I think some of them you're not going to get to be honest. I think some of the topics.
Well, that's like all one topic. Those three things that I just told you about, with an overarching question of whether Americans are like rejecting free speech. And so on that issue, I think the three of us are probably going to more or less agree, but you never know. So that'll be interesting as well. One of the like guests that they're doing for the interview is the guy who made this film Dope Sick, based on a book by Beth Measy that I really, really loved. So that should be fun too. But anyway, should be a good mix. Yeah,
I still don't think you're going to get to all those topics, because I think he probably has like a couple cushioned in there. You know, like a couple, so you don't run through them too quick. He's probably got two or so that you won't get to. That's my guess.
Well, the other thing is sometimes they add one day of, and obviously it's morning right now, so they might add another one, depending on what things, you know, break or catch his eye later in the week. Because I got these topics, 2 days ago. I got them like Wednesday evening. So if something broke later in the week that he's into, he might switch something out or so. But anyway, that's what I know right now. Yeah, so I'll try to keep. I had some other videos that I recorded, guys, and the audio for whatever reason on my phone is fucked up. So unfortunately, those are lost in the ether forever. Sad. But I'll make up for it and I'll record some other stuff behind the scenes. One of them was just like a hotel room tour, but we'll do it. We'll do a different one and throw it back in there for everybody. So yeah. Anyway, we'll talk to you guys soon. Peace. All right, y'all, I recorded this video of the hotel room last night, but the audio was all fucked up, so it didn't come through. So now I'm showing you our beautiful hotel room the next day. Here's Crystal Ball. It is a very, very pretty hotel. There's no doubt about it. We've already made it a little bit messy. It looked prettier last night. It did look a lot prettier last night. Still looks very pretty. I sincerely believe there's like a 60% chance Harvey Weinstein did bad things in this hotel. Don't you agree with that, Crystal? there is a distinct possibility. It
Yeah.
has that potential for sure.
Yeah.
It's at that level of
Show you
nice.
guys. Again, slightly dirty. It was nicer last night, but this is the, what would you even call this room, Krystal? Hello.
I don't know, vanity, powder room? What do you think?
I don't know.
There's like closets in there.
But that light is harsh. That light is doing nobody any favors, you know? Like, it's made to make every blemish on your face come out.
They have different settings you can put it on though.
Oh, yeah. Well, dimmer's better,
Fancy.
of course, yeah.
Should we show people what I'm gonna wear?
Sure, if you got it.
Yeah, I have it.
That bathroom reminds me of my parents' master bathroom growing up because it's the same color tile that they had in theirs.
All right, so I have two options. So this is the backup option, which I have worn before. You guys always ask me about my clothes. I mostly rent them. So I've worn that one before, so I know that one's good. This one I don't think I have rented before. It's very bright, but I sort of like I like the shoulders, I like the neckline on it, which is always important for TV. So
yeah, I like the color.
That's the likely one, but we'll see how I'm feeling later. Gotta have a backup.
Yeah, definitely. And we also had a video that we recorded last night talking about the flight and everything in the bed, but the audio didn't work on that either. So I guess I'll ask you about the flight too. How was the flight for you?
Flight was good. It's pretty smooth. I realized today when I saw headlines about how this was one of the worst flying days of the year for people because they canceled 1,500 flights across the country.
Yeah,
we got very lucky.
We saw the customer service desk. The customer service desk for American Airlines was the line was 200 feet long, 300 feet long.
Yeah.
There were 60 people on that line. And then you were reading about it and they were it was the worst flying day of the year. So we got lucky that our flight was on time.
Totally on time, relatively, just a tiny bit of turbulence, nothing too serious. You don't like flying I don't mind flying.
I fucking hate it.
You don't like flying, but you would say
it
it wasn't bad, right? The turbulence, there were just a few moments that were a little bumpy.
No, it wasn't bad, but I took Dramamine beforehand. And I do think that helps. It makes it so you don't feel every little, every little bump and you're more there and centered. Motion sickness I would describe as, I don't like boats, I don't like planes. You feel everything. So when you're flying, you're going 600 miles an hour in the sky.
Right.
You feel like you're going 600 miles an hour in the sky when you have motion sickness. You don't feel like you're just sitting almost in a house. But after you take the Dramamine, when you're up there and you're cruising and there's no turbulence, it almost feels like you're just steady. You're stable,
Gotcha.
So that's a lot better. But I was studying the sleeping habits of people around me. I know that's creepy, but there's a dude to the right of me who basically kept falling asleep in awkward ass positions, and it was kind of funny. He was he would be sitting up perfectly straight and just be and then there was a dude behind him who didn't get a wink of sleep the entire time, and I relate to that dude because that dude is I couldn't fucking sleep on the plane.
Yeah, I can, as you know, I can sleep anywhere.
That's true. I'm not tall, but I'm somewhat tall, and those seats were not. Even in business class, which is what HBO got us, they was still, it's just not comfortable enough. I don't have enough leg room. It feels tight. Basically, business class today is what it used to be to fly in economy.
Yeah.
Been told the airlines decided, let's just fucking try to nickel and dime everybody.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. But yeah, it's definitely a much nicer. I'm very lucky to be in business class. We got fed. Food was, I feel like the thing I got was better than the thing you got a little bit.
Yeah,
you got
definitely.
The pasta thing. I got
had
the
some
chicken
pasta thing. Yeah,
it was
just
decent. It was
tasted
all
like
good.
airline food to me.
The ice cream sundae was good.
Yeah, it was
Agreed.
okay. It was okay.
I guess I have lower standards. I don't know. For me, I feel like my standards automatically lower when I get on the airplane, and I feel like whatever they give me is if it's edible, then they're good.
If there's any food on an airplane, you feel because people don't get that in the back, right? People didn't get that in economy, right?
Usually, a lot of times in economy, they'll sell you something.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
Like a little sandwich or something like that you can buy.
Look, I'm more than happy to admit that I'm bougie when it comes to flights because I hate flying so much, and I don't I get nervous and anxious and stuff. So I always try to I'll spend more to get more comfort because I feel like I need that. And I have no problem admitting that. That's the one thing I will always splurge on is the flights.
You barely ever fly.
Yeah, so, that's right. I barely ever fly.
I mean, obviously, we're very lucky to be able to do those sorts of things.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody could say I'm elitist when I drive a Subaru. And I live in, like, very modest thing, you know? So if they want to clown on me for business class, so be it, but...
Business class and golf.
Oh, yeah, but the golf, I'm used to the golf clowning.
Yeah.
You know? So, anyway. All right, guys. Krystal, Marie, say goodbye, and I'll try to get some stuff. I don't know how much I'll be able to get at HBO behind the scenes, but I will try to come through on that and get a decent amount because I'm sure they have strict rules, so I got to be sort of sly with it, and we'll see what happens. Look at this. I think we are literally in 90210. So now we're going to go reenact the show, Beverly Hills 90210.
Are you going to be Dylan?
I don't know which one Dylan is.
He's like the troubled, angsty dude, kind of from, I don't know. That's my recollection anyway.
Then yes, call me Dylan. They weren't kidding about California gas prices, baby. Look at that.
It's self-serve and full service with the other one.
Self?
That's why the
You have to
prices are different.
pay more for full service? What the fuck is that? That's weird.
Yeah, because the people are doing some stuff for you. You gotta pay them.
Yeah, but you tip. We just tip on the East Coast, right?
Yeah, I guess
You
it's
just
a different regime. The one thing I do like about this gas station out here, zoom out a little bit, the that like overhead
thing. Yeah, that's
very
good.
70s looking. It's very
Yeah.
prices.
Thanks, Joe Biden.
That's cool looking.
We found the Beverly Hills White House. Look at this. Like, I have no idea what goes on in this building or what the fuck it is, but it looks like the White House in Beverly Hills.
Satanic rituals.
Jeffrey Epstein lives here.
Sweaty and gross.
You don't look sweaty or gross. Yeah. Krystal just worked out. That's why she's saying that. Pretty pool.
Nice
Kind of a tiny pool. Like, I know you guys can't see it to scale, but like, it's a pretty tiny pool, but it's nice. Very busy though. We had to wait online to get in here.
That's right. Hardly could find a spot.
Very hazy today in LA. I don't know how well the camera picks that up, but very hazy.
I can't really tell if it's haze or clouds or both.
Yeah, it's just not bright is the bottom line. What the fuck is this fake ass flower? It's creepy in two ways. Number one, the leaf is like obnoxiously big, which is really weird. And number two, the little stamen dick. Why is there a stamen dick? If I saw this flower in nature, I would run scared. So I don't know why they chose this. They were like, let's put the least aesthetically pleasing flower in the world in our hotel room. That's what they did. All these cactuses.
Yeah, those are
or
crazy.
cacti.
Yeah, look at that. That's so cool. Wow.
Wow, indeed. Jeez. It's the world record for most cactus.
Those pink flowers over here are incredible too. Those are azaleas? I don't think so.
Very happy to have you. I'm very glad to be here. I'm a huge fan of Breaking Point.
Oh, really?
So,
Oh, thank you.
yes, it's like literally like one of the only few podcast news things I like actually listen to.
That's awesome.
Thank
So,
you.
That's so cool.
Yeah, and you guys have a great podcast too.
Thank you so much.
you.
That's very nice of you to say.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, well, this show is such a different experience,
Oh,
you know?
so different from anywhere else.
Yeah, I mean, the just level.
So we like stitch out.
Price is Right set. That's cool.
Right?
look at this.
I know, it's crazy.
Very, very nice green room.
Yeah.
A Drew Carey action figure? What?
That's funny. Wait, doesn't he host Prices Right now?
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, because she was saying
Yeah,
they
we just
share
saw
the
the set.
same set. So they like swap out the stuff. It's a little hummus action, some beer.
It's funny because Corona is my beer. That's the one I like the most.
Definitely never drink before.
Oh, yeah.
Some people, it actually makes them better, but nah, not for me.
It's a bathroom, I guess, back here. Yeah. They have a shower, too. Jesus. You believe that?
Yeah, could have gone right here.
Wearing the mask as per CVS regulations, ladies and gentlemen.
They told us once we get to the green room we can take them off though.
Yeah, I know. I'm going to take it off, but it's just soaking in the ambiance first. Price is Right. That's funny that they share the studio with that. So I guess most of the days of the week, that's Price is Right. And then
Right, and then just on the weekend,
they switch it out for Bill.
it's for Bill.
Very cool.
I like it.
Okay, so you're gonna look down and towards the door.
Let's get to the dress.
Look at her.
Wow.
It looks awesome, doesn't
Wow. She looks phenomenal.
it? Okay, so I'll move you out.
I love it. Absolutely love it.
Yeah, so we're gonna go this way.
So Brenda, the makeup artist, said that Krystal looks like Kelly from Saved by the Bell. She messed up and said the one from 90210.
Yeah,
And she was
then
like
she's
Tiffany Amber
or something.
Yeah, and I was like, and then you were like, no, that's Saved by the Bell. And I was like, yeah, Kelly. And I think she nailed it.
I would much rather be Kelly than Brenda
Oh,
from 90210.
There's nobody in 90210 that could hold a candle to Kelly from Saved by the Bell. So yeah, but she's right.
She was Kyle's first crush, so.
That's right. That
I've now
was my
officially
first
become
crush.
his dream girl.
And now I need to dye my hair blonde to be Zach Morris, even though you would fucking hate that. But no, you look good, baby. They did a great job.
Thank you, babe.
Just grab the one on the far end there.
Rookie audience.
Thank you.
Most of you, and I know you, I see some faces I see here every week, you know this. Don't make the rookie mistake of just applauding at every joke. That's not good. What you want to do is laugh at the good jokes, and they're all at least good. And at the very good jokes, the excellent jokes, you give them a round of applause. So it's kind of mixed in. Some laughter with applause, some laughter going into applause. You want to practice that? Yes. You're not going to ever hear that phrase again. And we have a wonderful desk piece, and a really funny thing about, the AI, the artificial intelligence, is going sentient or sentient, depending on where you're from. But we found a lot of the gadgets and gizmos that we use in everyday life are starting to become sentient, and we have proof of it. And that is our desk piece. I want you to laugh it up during that. It's really funny, okay? Thank you. One guy engaged, thank you, sir. The rest of you looking at me like I'm a toenail on your breakfast table for some reason. Sorry. And then new rules at the end. You like the new rules? I like that. New rules. Laugh up with the new rules. Save some love with the new rules. Stay focused throughout. Don't settle in and just start watching. You have a job to do through the whole 1 hour. We want your love and laughter and applause through the whole thing. And then a wonderful editorial at the end about what's been going on over there at the Washington Post. Not far from you in Virginia. The WAPO. You're going to love this show. You're going to make it great. I can tell you're great already. We put together a highlight reel, what we've been up to. I'm going to do this for the first time. We've been showing this highlight reel, many of you know, for 2 years, and I never get to the end. So lately, we've been trying to chop off a little of the front so you can see the end, but we're still not getting to the end. I think I have it timed down right today, if I would just shut the fuck up. 3, 2, 1, right now!
dad t-shirt runs into another dad wearing a world's greatest dad t-shirt. Maher tweets calling for more to be done against Weigel, mocking her bosses, attacking colleagues, and letting the world know how much the Washington Post sucked. And this endless bickering and infighting continued online in public.
All right, so I'm here with the woman of the hour. I wasn't able to record that much when I was in there because.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was up recording at the beginning, and
I think I saw where you like up.
Oh, back left. Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the like security guys was like phone down, and I was like, all right, whatever. But I got like little snippets here and there. But I wasn't able to get that much. But everybody will see the whole thing, obviously. So I think you did a phenomenal job.
Thanks, baby.
I was surprised that Bill didn't know about the market crash under COVID.
I know.
And he didn't know that the Fed came in and literally shat out like $21 trillion to like backstop it.
Right.
And so he was trying to shit on the COVID relief packages.
Right.
Meanwhile, there wasn't a lot of the COVID relief packages went directly to corporations. It was like corporate socialism.
I mean,
so for him to bash the people who were getting the money, like to your point, the $1,400 checks.
Right.
Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Right, exactly. And I'm not dishonest enough to say that, like, oh, that has nothing to do with inflation. But that, at this point, is a small piece.
I actually don't think it has much to do with inflation, to be honest.
It does have something. It definitely has something to do with it. But at this point, most of that has burned off. I mean, people's checking accounts, they went up for a while. Their savings accounts went up for a while. That's way back down. Now we have record amounts of credit card debt. So any excess that was put into the system at that point is gone. But then the bigger point is, why is it only the working class people spending money that is causing inflation? Like, why is that the only thing that you get upset about? And obviously the reason is, we know why, because their only answer is austerity and like using all of this as an excuse to screw over working class people and like get them back in line, you know?
Yeah, but for Maher to make that point extra sucks because he used to not make that argument. Now he makes arguments like that, you know?
Yeah. And I didn't even get to go in on like the, you know, can we find a great centrist like Bill Clinton now? And it's like...
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Like, that's... He's so upset about where we are today with regards to Trump and January 6th and democracy. And I totally get that. But then you have to realize who were the politicians in charge and what were the policies that led us to this place. So, like, Bill Clinton, Barack Obama, I mean, the Republicans too, but the neoliberals led us to this place. Why would you want more of them in response to this?
Yeah. And Maher just wanted to hear you say, like, prosecute Trump and that's the end of the conversation, right? And you were like, yeah, I mean, you should prosecute him, but let's talk about how we got here so we could fix it moving forward. And he was refusing to hear the second part of that, which is an expansion on his point, but all he wanted to hear was like,
and then
law and order, lock him up. And it's
then actually, I like Ron DeSantis. It's like, I don't know that that's...
Well, he didn't say he likes Ron DeSantis. He was saying he's different than Trump. But I agree with you that he's absolutely not different than Trump. First of all, in terms of how they would vote, it's literally 99% or 100%
I mean, if anything, he's actually scarier because he's much more managerially competent.
They would say,
talented.
They would say, like, oh, but he wouldn't try to steal an election. And it's like, well, fucking George W. Bush and Dick Cheney stole an election in 2000. Like, what are you talking about? They all want to steal elections.
I don't know why you would assume that he would behave any differently when Trump has shown you can get away with it.
Right.
He's basically paved the path for the next Republican to do the same fucking shit. I mean, I just don't know why you'd have that confidence.
And then there was a moment where he was like surprised you were on the left. And
yeah.
I was like,
right.
What?
I was on his show arguing for Bernie Sanders last time.
Because people, for whatever reason, there's a group of people who cannot separate out, like, I'm a leftist, but I'm also not in favor of saying the term like Latinx. You know what I'm saying? Like they think like, what do you mean? If you're a leftist, you're supposed to be in favor of firing people when they offend you, right? It's like, no, that's not leftism. What are you talking about?
And not only that, but that has to be like the core of your politics.
Right.
That you're like obsessed with this like language policing and call outs, and you're going to be on Felicia Sumner's side of the Washington Post and stuff like that. So, I mean, listen, in fairness, sadly, there are not enough of us who have those politics that are like, you know, lefty on economics and, you know, basically every issue, but just don't buy into this idea that it's beneficial to, you know, to obsess over those academic language choices and to intentionally sort of marginalize yourself.
I also like how he fucked up our podcast name. What did he say at the beginning?
He called you like Kaylee or something.
Yeah, he was like, did he say breaking points first?
He said breaking points.
I couldn't hear that over the...
Sager.
Oh my God.
And Kaylee.
I couldn't hear that part over because, by the way, your audio sucks in the room. Like your guys'
it's hard to
volume
hear.
is so low, and so
Oh,
when people
really?
clap, we can't hear shit you're saying.
Oh, interesting.
And so there was a lot of times where we didn't hear anything you were saying while everybody was clapping and shit. But
And were you watching
all
a
I heard
monitor
was,
or were you watching more
I was
on stage?
it was split. I
Yeah.
would drift to the monitor, but then I would force myself to look back at the stage. But all I heard was like Kale something, and he's like, I'm sorry, I suck with names. I was like, come on, dude, get it together.
Whatever, I screw up names all the time, so I can't really talk on that one.
Yeah, well,
Kinda
anyway.
exempt myself from every name conversation given.
Well, I fuck him up too, but you're Bill Maher, you gotta get that shit right.
It was fun to do. I probably got, I don't know, did I get too animated? I got kind of like aggressive on the inflation points.
It didn't come across as animated at all. No,
I felt like maybe I was being too dominating.
But what I don't like, the only thing I don't like is that with this particular show, it is, even with now the 2 people on the panel, it's still very like soundbitey. You know what I'm saying? Like it's still like get your point out in 12 seconds.
It's not like, I mean, we're so used to having as much time as you want to go in, you know? It's definitely a lot, you know, you gotta have your like short little snippet.
And he's got his flippant glib like quick points, and then he moves on, and it's like, you know, then the seals will clap, you know. So anyway, you did a great job, and everybody definitely check it out if you haven't yet. It would not be a trip to LA without this and that. All right, y'all, we're back in the hotel room now. I think Krystal did a phenomenal job. I did, in the end, get to meet Bill Maher. Where's the remote? I gotta mute this shit in the background. I don't want to get copyrighted. Although I don't think HGTV copyright shit. But they might.
You
So
never know.
let's not risk it. So yeah, I got to meet Bill Maher. It was kind of crazy. So first of all, I didn't really want to, did I?
No, you were very reluctant.
Yeah.
Kind of had to drag you over.
Yeah, you and somebody who works for him were like, go meet him. Like, come on, it'd be cool. Go, go, go. I was like, I'm good. Like, he's just over there talking. We were at some like little after party thing, and I was drinking a beer, and he was talking to people and drinking a beer elsewhere, and I didn't really want to go over there. But you guys convinced me, and I went, introduced myself, shook his hand. I was a little surprised because I thought 50% chance he knows who I am, 50 to 60% chance he knows who I am. Mm-hmm. He definitely did not know who I was.
No. He's he's definitely not in like left YouTube world at all.
Honestly, though, it was a bit of a relief that he didn't know who I was, because if he did, which leads to my next thing. So what I learned tonight after meeting Bill Maher is he's just as fucking sensitive as I am. I'm serious.
Yeah.
Like, you guys know I talk about all the time how I don't read Twitter mentions, I don't read YouTube comments, I make myself like walled off so nobody can even reach me, because like I've experienced the criticisms that are just like, they just drain so much mental energy from you that you're just like, I should just not do this. Why am I putting myself through unnecessary pain? I don't need to like see this and obsess over it for half a day or a full day and just lose a day of happiness, you know?
Yeah.
And so what I learned is Bill Maher 100% is like that, because he was talking about something that somebody else said, and he was very clear. He was like, this is it's bullshit. It's an unfair categorization. Like, I'm obviously not that. Why would they say that? That's not cool.
It just shows you it doesn't matter how long you do this.
Right.
Like, it doesn't change. It's still like, go ahead.
All right, guys. Sorry about last night. Krystal and I were recording that video and the camera died, and we haven't had a free moment since to pick up a camera again. But we're back in the DC area. Just flew back in. I don't know where I was on the Bill Maher story, Krystal, but I think I had said super sensitive.
Yeah, that's where we were.
Yeah. He very clearly is aware of whatever anybody who is even a little bit prominent says about him. I don't include me in that because he had no idea who the fuck I was, which I was actually a little bit relieved about. And yeah, he feels it. The way he was like, that's not true. I can't believe they would say that. You know, it was very much, it was relatable in the sense that I've had that experience too, where you get together with another YouTuber and you're like, and this fucking person said this shit and that's fucking bullshit, you know?
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it was interesting. It was interesting. As I said, you guys had to like drag me to meet him because I didn't really want to go out of my way to meet him.
Well, I feel like part of that is number one, you weren't sure if he knew of any of your criticism. And number two, you don't really like meeting people that you might have to cover, because then that makes it harder to just be objective and neutral, you know, when you've actually like had a conversation with the person.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. I mean, he was a nice dude, but oh, the other thing that he said, remember this, Krystal? He loves this line now. He says it all the time, and I've heard him say it on his show too. Like, I haven't changed at all. They've changed. Talk about like the left.
Yeah.
And you know, I mean, the debate ending point on that is, bro, you went from supporting Bernie Sanders in 2016 to Amy Klobuchar in 2020. Like, that is the definition of changing. They're two totally ideologically opposed people. Like, you cannot say you haven't changed. But to your point, and I think this came through in the show a little bit, Bill now equates, like he thinks you can't be quote unquote left unless you're like ultra woke. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so,
and like obsessed with being woke, and that's the center of your politics.
And so he doesn't know how to disaggregate, like, you know, economic leftism from like cultural leftism, and he's just sort of lost in the wilderness of labels in a sense. And I think he views himself as like, you know, I'm like the maverick truth teller who's gonna tell like it is to everybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's certainly how he views himself.
That's definitely his self-conception. But yeah, I mean, I think that's why he had so much trouble understanding my politics. You know?
Yeah, there was a moment in the show where he was like, wait, you're on the left?
Right.
He said something to you like
how
that.
How can you agree with me on these free speech things, but then also be like, hey, let's not screw over working class people. Like, how do these things fit together?
And it's kind of ironic too, because he thinks people have this like misperception of him, this like stereotype of him in their mind, and they judge him in accordance with that. But that's what he does to everybody else. That's what he did to you. That's what he does with everybody else in the political landscape. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
So, but I mean, he was a nice enough guy. I did find it kind of funny that he didn't know who I was, because like, I don't know. I've been doing this for 10 years. If you're nominally on the left and you've been in the position he's been in for all that time, it's like, really? You've never once come across.
He's just very clearly not into any of the YouTube channels.
So true. And I mean, it comes through in his choices of guests too. Like, he has got a clear bias against people who are just internet. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt in my mind, if I had not been on MSNBC, there's no way I would have ever ended up on that show, you know? Because the first time I went on, I think I was still at MSNBC, and so that's how I got in like the guest roster. Right. And and so I've managed to kind of like sneak in under the radar there, but yeah.
So Krystal didn't know how she did last night. Let's just say that. It was hard for her to, you know, sort of get objective enough from the situation to view it through, you know, a normie's eyes, if you will. And I told her that she did really well. And she went from not being sure of it last night to now, today, knowing that she did well, because all of the reaction since then has been like, Krystal Ball destroys Bill Maher, and Krystal Ball just wrecks Bill Maher's panel with facts and logic. And shout out to David Dole, by the way. He dropped a video within like, David Dole dropped a video within like 8 seconds.
Yeah,
and
he's on top of it, isn't he?
Oh, he's on top of it. And the video's fucking blowing up skis. So shout out to David Dole. David, tell me what your magic is. How do I get an algorithm where I can get some things that pop like that, dog? Anyway, yeah, so trip was good. Flight sucked donkey dicks. Never want to go on a flight again, ever. But the trip was fun. Krystal did a great job, and hope everybody enjoyed a little. Fuck bikers who do that. I hate that. They drive right down in between the cars. Come on, man. Like, what the fuck?
It's very dangerous.
It's just obnoxious. It's like, oh, you're so special. You get to fucking jump everybody. Fuck you. Anyway, where was I?
Trip was great. Saying how amazing I did. That's what.
Yes, trip was great. You did a great job, and I hope everybody enjoys the behind the scenes stuff, because I was trying my best to be a little sneaky documentarian. You know.
Yeah, I think you got some good video. I think you have a talent for this, actually. You've got
what?
For it. You do, yeah. You like grab a picture of the signs and a little bit of scene setting, and you grab some conversations where I didn't even know you were recording. So yeah.
There's literally nothing to this. It's just like, whenever you feel like there's an opportunity where you could record it without causing too much of a kerfuffle, you just do it. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, now go. You know.
You often take for granted some of the skills and talents you have, Kyle. That's why we all love you.
What can I say? All right. Thanks, guys. Love you.
Bye, y'all.